Hello, friends. Welcome to another meeting. A few things to go over today. The first one is I finished benchmarks for February, but they were terribly wonky. There was a number of you that it showed were not eligible for a bonus due to late pages. And so I had the hub managers kind of look through, they may have touched base with some of you already, what those late pages are to figure out what's going on. A number of them were due to things like the power outage, other stuff that was beyond your control, and we just didn't have late page forms on them. So please, please, please make sure that you are filling out those late page forms. We're not going to necessarily go through every single month and double check with all of you on stuff if things seem off. We don't always have the time for that. But please fill those forms out because I want you to get your bonus if you've earned it. And remember that late page forms are due by midnight on the last day of the month. So if it's April 1st and you're filling out a March late page form, unless you contact me about some special circumstances, it's not going to count. So please be mindful of that. Any questions on that? Like, okay. We will, we're going through those now, talking with people. Things should be updated by Monday. So we'll let you know early next week whether or not you received a bonus, let you know what your benchmarks look like. But so just a heads up on what's going on with that. The guy in the back needs a vacation. You know, he probably could use one, but see, he's messed up because like his batteries are dead. If you hit the button, he's when he works, he like electrocutes himself, and it doesn't work if you hit the button, but then like randomly in the middle of the night, he'll just go off and you'll hear him like screaming and the lights will start flashing. So anyways, if anybody wants to have a slumber party in this room, yeah. So, we talked last week about the design of especially our e-edition Nation World pages. And I am impressed with what we've seen already. It's been a week and you guys have already done some really, really great work. We had a few people on Wednesday when things were slower, design one-story pages for some a little more evergreen content that we're going to run in the upcoming week or so. Those all turned out nicely. So thank you to those of you who did those. The first one, I think, runs Sunday. I'm not sure what dates we have the other one scheduled for, but again, thank you for those. You all will be seeing more of those. If you're doing those Q pages, you'll have pages where it'll just say, use this PDF. So you can just drop the PDF on, make sure that you keep the current folio so that we've got the right date information on there. And then that's how you will do the whole page. So that'll be good. For those kinds of pages, if you have any ideas for pages that we can put together on our own, we really want to hear about that. Let me know. I'm trying to come up with ideas for things that we can do without necessarily needing a reporter or newsroom to put a bunch of stuff together that we can then do something. So if you have a topic that would make a really great like full page infographic or other kind of alternative story format that is of larger interest, can be presented graphically, has, reliable sources that you could use, can't just be like, I remember all these things. There has to be sourcing involved and all those kind of journalism things, but I'd love to hear about those. We're working on figuring out, keeping track of FNS content and local content that comes in and seeing things that we could repurpose in more visual ways. I also have a meeting with editors next week in which I'm going to ask them to talk with their teams about approaching their stories in ways that could be more visual, because I think we do a number of stories. The reporters do a number of stories that I think in a more visual alternative story format would be just better presented, better received by the readers. They're just be easier. So uh, we're working on all of that. We're working on more specialty pages. I'm working on collecting the information and finding pictures so that we can do a like an Oscars ballot page that I have like these are all the categories. This is who's nominated in the category, and one of you will get the awesome task of putting that together with all the categories. And then the night the Academy Awards are, they're on March 27th. So then we'll have two special pages in the edition. One page will be the coverage of, who won, if there was any scandals, if Jennifer Lawrence falls, whatever happens. And then the other page will be the fashion. Um, so we're working on more things like that. Um, uh, been trying to find like the baseball lockout information so we could do sort of a what's the deal with the baseball millionaires fighting over how many millions they get, um, things like that. So again, any ideas that you have, even if it's not something you could do, if it's just like, hey, this event that people care about is coming up, and maybe we could do something with that, like this idea or whatever it is, Easter's coming up. If you have an idea for what would make an interesting graphical Easter presentation, you know, it's also Passover. If you have a good idea for a Passover page, um, whatever, um, we're just trying to, again, just make those pages more interesting, better quality content, and then to really use the skills that you all have to do um, just pages that are more gripping, more creative, give you the time to do that which we know you can. um, Questions on that? All right. Again, you can go ahead and type things if you have any questions. um, eh, is Joe is not here? Okay, Joe's not here, but Joe is going to have a stroke because some of the papers keep saying like digest, and to write in the standing head digest instead of the word briefs. For whatever reason, that seems to be Joe's like hill to die on. Every time he sees it, he starts talking about it, and his face gets real red. He gets upset. So please make sure that you are changing it to briefs anytime that you see it. And if you feel comfortable to just let the pod editor know that our style is briefs so that they know that, that would be great too. I've talked to the ones that I know their paper has that they've done it while working on a paper that does that. And it can be changed to, local briefs and stuff like that too. Sports briefs, whatever, but just not digest for Joe's sake. All right. And then I've got one thing I wanted to show you. We have had a few issues lately with some foul language making it into print. And so I want to walk you through something you can do to stop that from happening. So, Becca designed this page, not me. Don't think that I did work this good. But so in InDesign, under Edit, go to Spelling. You all should have dynamic spelling checked. If you do not, go do it right after this meeting, because that's going to help you catch a lot of things because it'll underline when there's issues. So what I'd like you to do is go to User Dictionary here, and then go to Removed Words under Dictionary List. And then here, what you can do, where it says Word, type in every potty talk word you can think of. Um, any word that would get your mouth washed out with soap when you were a little kid. Um, just um, anything you can think of, words that shouldn't be in the paper. Also add any words that you can think of that are commonly misspelled or that are commonly misused. Um, things that AP Style has different, you can put the wrong version in here. Like you can see I put childcare because AP Style has childcare as 2 words, but it's not uncommon for people to write it as 1. So now anytime that shows up in an article, uh, it's going to underline it and say, "Hey, childcare," and I'll be like, "That's 2 words." Things like that. I'm sorry that this is just like a screen of profanity for you all right now, but, um, just any kind of words you can think of like that. Also include words that, sorry, I'm just going to close that because I don't keep having bad language there. But uh, any of those words you can think of, put there. I would also highly recommend that you all put the word pubic in there because it's very easy to forget to type the L in the word public and then to end up with an embarrassing headline. Um, and I have seen that in like really large headlines on some papers, and that's literally like what I have nightmares about. So put that in your removed words dictionary as well. I suppose one thing I should show you here. Um, Paul asks if that's something that could universally be out to everyone, like the library. It's not. Everybody has to put it into your own like user dictionary. It doesn't change for other people. So okay, now it's not going to let me share that window again. Um, okay, I'll just share my entire screen. Sorry about this. Okay, so one thing also that you can do, because once you add this, it's going to underline a lot of words. And so there are absolutely some words that it underlines just because it doesn't know them, but it should. So like here, if I click on millennia, it's because it doesn't recognize that millennia is a word. It thinks it should be millennial. So then I can just hit add millennial to user dictionary. And then it's never going to underline that again. I've used this a lot for different cities in our region. So it doesn't underline Minot anymore or Wilmer, things like that. Um, that's another thing, like in my removed words dictionary, I have Wilmer with 1 L so that if we ever forget that second L, it will tell us that. So rainforest here, I'm going to add to the user dictionary so we can keep that. Um, names of people, so like mayors of different town, Klobuchar, uh, other people, things like that. Go ahead and add all of that to your user dictionary, and then it won't flag quite as many things. But um, Aaron asks, is Jan's profanity list still hanging out somewhere? I believe it is. Yes. Um, I will see if I can find it. And then, along with this meeting video, I will attach a list of filthy words. But please don't go to HR about it because it is, like necessary for work because it is important that we not allow these words in the paper. The the first one this week was caught, and we were able to resend the page before the paper was printed, and so there was rescuing there. I don't know exactly who caught it, but good work, whoever that was. Um, and then the second one was not caught, and so it did run with the F word in the paper. So again, please just be keeping an eye out for this. The copy editors have all gotten this information, and we're going through and double checking that everyone's got theirs set up as well. I guess later I will send them a list of filthy words too. But my job is weird, y'all. But again, I mean, I just can't stress how important it is that we be flagging that. If a potty talk should come up when you're editing, just ask the pod editor and just say, has an editor approved this F word? And, uh, generally speaking, they haven't, or if they did, it might have been like noted somewhere. But yeah, okay. Questions about swear words? All right, thank you. Michael or Emily, anything else?
Yep. I'm just going to go over so we're adding a graphic to the Grand Forks Herald weather page. It's going to be the same thing that we did for the forum. We're in the process right now of getting the graphic and the template updated. I'm just going to share my screen for just a second. All right. So yes, this is a forum file because they're not going to send the snow totals until 6:30. But this is generally what we want it to look like. Whoever's working on that page tonight, I'll reach out to in a couple minutes, and then after tonight, we'll have a reference to go back and look at until the template and the script are updated. But just so everybody knows, we're going to get rid of manually entering the snow totals, and we're going to have this graphic provided from WDAY. We are in the process of getting it, the template updated and the script updated. So that's it.
All right, if that's all, then you all can go, and I'll just go spend the next several hours thinking about how awkward it was to just talk about swearing so much today. So, Becca, you said you had a copy of that list. Could you just email it to me so I don't have to look for it? Oh, also, if anyone is interested in a Saturday shift for this weekend, please let us know. We have somebody who's off unexpectedly. So if you'd like to pick up a Saturday shift or even a portion of a Saturday shift, that would be super. Reach out to Michael tonight. Thank you.